Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1, A Bad Deal, written by Sinchi Dev. That's what we were. A bad deal. Trying to make a place for ourselves with a system low in resources and far from any profitable trade route was almost an impossible task. The envoys of the Galactic Council that welcomed us to the galactic community suggested that we look for a patron amongst the most influential races the Galactic Council and become a protectorate. So we did. We sent a missive to all of them offering them our undying friendship and loyalty. It was all we could offer, if they gave us their protection. We sent one to the friendly Walrus, with 15 races protected, the mighty Norrin, with 8 protected races, the generous Muldor with 5 protected races, and the skilled Ahor with 3 protected races, and the almighty Humans without protected races. The time limit was almost over when we got our first answer. The Humans had looked upon us with favor and programmed a meeting with us in 31 cycles. We were really happy. The almighty Humans were amongst the strongest races of the galaxy, if not the universe. The Humans had a reputation of not having found a race worthy of their protection, so the other races figured that if we were worthy of the Humans, that they'd have a talk with us too. Following humanity's offer, we received invitations for reunions from the other races, everyone wanting to meet with us before the Humans meeting. We received their envoy, and one by one they seemed disappointed by us. We even got literally laughed at by one of them. All of them declined to be our protectors. Our worries grew. What if the Humans did the same? What if they mistook us for a better race? What if we were left alone? We couldn't let that happen. The meeting with the Humans had to be perfect. We prepared everything: abundant food, a performance, a military display, and a treaty where we agreed to give them all they asked for and follow them wherever they went. Humanity was our last hope for a place within the galactic community. We were desperate. The human envoys arrived exactly when they said they were going to arrive. They were weird, taller than we expected, could easily see above our heads, and didn't have fur outside of their heads. They smiled at us and proceeded to greet us, putting their hands on our heads. It was a weird greeting, but it somehow felt really nice, more kinder than one would expect from a race known for their military prowess like them. We offered our food, which we now realized wasn't enough as they were bigger than we expected, but fortunately, we made it last. The performance kept them smiling all the way up until our military performance. We knew our military wasn't as skilled as theirs, but hearing them call our military cute still hurt. The last part of the cycle was the meeting itself, a very stressful time where we read our very, very, very small offer. When they finished reading, they had more serious face and they said, "No, we knew that we couldn't make the cut. We were doomed to be alone in the cold galaxy. Our hearts filled with sadness with their simple and small no. We are going to give you something too." We surely heard them wrong. We couldn't think of something to say. "You are offering your friendship and loyalty. We're gonna give you something too." We can't articulate our thoughts. "You'll get our friendship and loyalty too." I'm glad that we are sitting, otherwise our happiness would be harder to hide. "We want free travel within our territories and yours." We all nod, unable to say anything. "We will protect your territories as if they were ours. We'll bring new farming techniques and we'll boost your industry production capabilities." We just keep nodding, but our happiness is almost visible. "If those terms fit what you wanted, we can proceed with the signing." We signed the treaty, still trying to hide our happiness. I think they realize that they just keep smiling. It's done. We are the first race to be under the protection of Humans. I don't know what made them so interested in us, but I can guarantee that after those beyond generous terms, every single member of my race would follow any human to hell and back. They are now preparing to leave, but before they leave, I have to know why they are being so generous to us. Excuse me, Envoy Johansson, can I ask you something? Sure you can, Ambassador Lassie. Why are you being so generous to us? We don't have resources, big territories, or control any important trade routes. The only thing that we can offer you is our friendship and loyalty. Not only you accepted, but instead offered more than we could ever hope to. At the dawn of our civilization, another species made the same offer to us. Friendship and loyalty was all they could offer. Over time, they earned our respect and love, reaching the title of humanity's best friend. We learned from them the value of friendship and loyalty. You happen to look quite similar to them, and you've coincidentally made us the same offer we received so long ago. We'd never received an offer like that. All the other races offer resources or military. None had ever before offered what we truly value. We can get resources and military prowess whenever we want. Friendship and loyalty, however, are harder to find. That's what makes you a good deal. I can barely contain my tale. My happiness is showing. But I don't care. We were beyond lucky to find humanity. End of story. Story number 2. Turnabout is Fair Play, written by LG Father Anthracite. Sir, I've got an activity on Honeypot. It looks like a brute force attack, and some overflow injections. They got access and added some credentials, then logged off. Total contact was under 5 minutes. Oh, fine. What's that old saying? Step on my web, there said the spider to the fly. Bait it with something useless but technical. Doesn't Johnson have an archive of old, outdated router manuals and OS help files? Load that up. It's useless. See if you can catch them logged in and trace their point of origin. Yes, sir. One baited trap coming up. Finally, after months of progress, the attack had gone off without a hitch. My team was able to take advantage of the brute force technique that we discovered on the public datanet in order to infiltrate the Terran military system. We then used a documented flaw to overwhelm the system and execute several commands without proper access rights. Once confirmed, we had continued access. We logged out, so we didn't bring attention to ourselves. In a few days, we could get back in and look around, and no one would even suspect anything. No, man, they took everything. This is going to be fun. Really? Everything. Greedy little bastards took copies of the log files we faked up. Oh, and there was a guide to a super old command line operating system in there. Gonna mock up some files and file structures. Sir, permission to load trap and trace Trojan onto the system for them to download. We don't know who it is. Wouldn't trying to run the wrong code cause issues. We can load in all of them and see which ones call home with data. Odds are that they will think that any glitches or errors are because they're running a non-native code on their system. Besides, what's the worst that can happen? We get nothing. Okay, but nothing from the last 3 generations. Only old stuff we don't use anymore. Johnson and his archive should provide something. Oh man, this is gonna be good. The documents we exfiltrated were proving invaluable. It was like a guide on how to access every aspect of a computer that we had compromised. My team was able to download all sorts of files and programs on our 3rd visit. We were even able to get in and edit the config.sys and autoexec.bat files to run commands we wanted as soon as the system booted. Once we deciphered the data that we had access, we would hopefully be able to use it to bring down the Terran military networks and wreak havoc on our enemy, with them none the wiser as to the culprits. My quills quiver and barely contained excitement at the prospect. Oh man, this is so much fun. You're a real sadist. You know that. Come on, man. If they think the video game blueprints are real blueprints, they deserve what they get. I get it, but did you have to set up a whole second honeypot with all the extra security just to fool them? I don't think they're too good at this. Hey, it's not my fault they found some century-old hacking tutorials and tried them on our servers. Oh, check it out. One of the trap and trace Trojans is spawning home. Call the chief. He's gonna want to know who's been tiptoeing through our garden. Honor shall be mine. I discovered a cache of weapon designs on our second compromised system. I marked them as mine so no one else could steal the credit and sent them to the weapons engineers to see if they could use the designs. The documents have proved useful for learning to access Terran networks, and we are now able to navigate them quite well. It seems that the programs we were able to get were incompatible with our hardware. Most wouldn't execute, and the ones that did start didn't seem to do anything. This is to be expected. Humans are very strict about military systems. We have several civilian computers running to practice the commands we've learned, but the programs wouldn't do anything on those stats either. We will continue trying to compromise more systems. Video game weapons? Yes, sir. Like what? There is a billiard ball cannon and a pulse rifle, and the BFG 9000, sir. You're not right in the head, are you, son? I spend a lot of time in front of computers, sir. Did your little trick net us any returns? As a matter of fact, we now know where the attacks are originating from, sir. Oh, and what does that get us, aside from an international incident? Access to their systems, sir. End of story. This is a special thank you to the one, the only, the legendary Eric Hino, who has become the only Tier 6 patron. I just want to thank the T5 patrons and channel members. Bob the Dragon, Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnolds, Estrella the Dreamer, Trygain95, Pudic Yol, Meridian117, Alithia, Jordan Bucksborn, Angry Marine, Albard Gusta, and Barkey. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.